A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Five bells. Stand by all stations.
Attention! All districts, a five-alarm fire. 5 bells, move in immediately.
That's it. Let's roll!
Let's go! Firefighters! Presenting Firefighters, the true-to-life story of our unsung heroes who stand ready to ride by day or night against our most murderous enemy, the demon of fire. In a moment, we'll join Chief Cody and rookie fireman Tim Collins in the huge warehouse near the waterfront, where they're faced with the problem of recapturing a group of rhesus monkeys. Their cages had broken in unloading, and their keeper in panic had called the Department Rescue Company to capture the monkeys swarming over the outside of the building. By playing streams of water on them, Chief Cody's men had managed to force them inside the warehouse and into waiting cages, that is, half of them. The rest of the monkeys are hiding in the warehouse. To accomplish the seemingly impossible task of smoking these out into the open, Chief Cody has called in the famous monkey man, Spider Jones, whom you'll meet right after this message. Let's go, firefighters! Let's listen to Chief Cody and rookie fireman Tim Collins as they stand inside the carefully guarded warehouse, talking with the eccentric old circus man, that authority on monkeys, Spider Jones. Several firemen stand near the cages which contain half the creatures. The rest of the monkeys are still at large, lurking somewhere in the great cavernous warehouse. Tim is explaining to Spider Jones just how important it is to capture the missing monkeys.
You see, Spider, this shipment of rhesus monkeys is to be used in important experiments. Experiments that may help find a cure for a deadly disease.
And then the medical bigwigs are depending on us to snare these fellers, that right?
Right, Spider. Catching the critters or not may mean the difference between success or failure of this important scientific experiment.
Well, so old Spider's job here may be a contribution to science, eh? What do you know?
Well, that's just about the size of it. Now, what's your plan, Spider?
Yes, sir. We better get busy. We've wasted enough time as it is.
Well, seems to me there's only one way. Play on their sense of fear.
Oh, look, Spider, how do you play on a monkey's sense of fear?
Python, of course.
A who?
A python. Didn't you ever hear of a python, young feller?
You mean a huge snake?
Sure. When you come over to the zoo to get me, I fixed it to borrow one. Emergency, I told him. They'll send him over soon.
I hope you know what you're doing.
Nothing else in the world will pry those monkeys out of their hiding places, Chief. They hate and fear snakes like poison. They're scared now, and this is the only thing that'll make them scareder. They'll come out in the open chattering like human beings. Of course, if you're scared...
Oh, don't be silly. If that's the only way, it's the only way.
Well, sure, it's... Well, I guess it's a good idea.
Risk your life every day of the week, and now you're nervous as kittens over a few little monkeys and one big old snake. I'll be a monkey's uncle if you ain't. Yes, sir, a monkey's uncle.
Spider, stop ribbing us and tell us what to do next.
Well, get those cages with the monks out, and then we'll have the place to ourselves.
Well, can the three of us handle this?
I reckon. We're going to get your men to pile bales and boxes till we have a big funnel from either wall narrowing down toward one end of the warehouse.
Not bad. When the monkeys come out, they'll be forced into this smaller space.
Sure. No other place for them to go. Now, have your men hang one of your big nets over the end of our funnel, and if we're lucky, we'll nab those little fellers all in one fell swoop.
What about the big fella, the python?
Him? Oh, well, we'll just thank him for his help and tell him to go away somewhere.
And with that, not another word could the chief or Tim get out of Spider Jones. Well, soon the firemen had arranged the boxes and crates in the warehouse in the shape of a giant V, with a great net hung over the narrow end. The chattering monkeys in the cages were removed, and a moment later, a truck from the zoo backed into the huge doorway.
Hey, Spider, you're sure there's no chance of those monkeys slipping out while this door is open?
Nope, I already told you they're a darn sight more scared of us than we are of them.
Oh, I don't know about that, my good man. What's that truck doing here?
Hey, it's stopping. Man's getting out. And he's joining the firemen outside. Hey, who are you, if I may ask?
Don't get sore, Spider. He has a right to ask questions. This is Mr. Lang. He was keeper of those monkeys aboard ship.
So, you're the fellow who got all these poor little critters into this trouble.
I was under the impression that we were the ones who were in trouble. As for these confounded monkeys...
Now watch what you're saying, mister. Some of my best friends are monkeys.
Is this man crazy, Chief Cody?
Well, not exactly, Mr. Lang. Spider's an old friend of mine. He knows what he's doing.
Well, I know a thing or two about monkeys myself. It's hardly my fault that the cages were broken in unloading.
You know you gotta treat monkeys careful. You should have taken...
Careful? I sat up night and day with them, all the way from Calcutta, feeding them, watering them, and now...
The trouble with you, Mr. Lang, is you just don't like monkeys. Ain't that right?
Well, frankly, no, Mr. Spider. They're vicious, mean, and ungrateful.
Now, we need one more man to help us, Chief Cody, and I've just found him. Close that door, you man.
As far as I can see, we're all set, Spider.
Thank you, Tim. You want to give me a hand with this chain on the back of the truck?
Huh? Oh, yeah, I see the back. That's down to form a ramp, huh?
Would one of you mind telling me what this has to do with recapturing those monkeys?
We got a friend of yours inside. Here, you want to take a peek?
A friend of mine?
Well, you got a lot in common. He don't like monkeys, and they don't like him.
It's all right, Mr. Lang. Step up. Take a look.
Through this crack? Well, I can't see... Oh, good heavens, another... snake?
A little baby python, Mr. Lang. No bigger round than you are. And what's the matter?
Let me out of here. Let me out, I say.
Now, wait a minute, Mr. Lang. Everything's under control. You can't go out now. Tim and Spider are ready to lower the back of that truck.
As an authority on monkeys, Mr. Lang, you ought to know that the best way to scare them out into the open is with a snake. Hey, where you going?
I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here.
Look at him travel. I swear to goodness, I think he's going to climb that post just like a monkey. Now I feel a lot better. Never could stand a man who didn't like monkeys. Now, Chief, you and Private Collins get down to the other end now and stand ready with your net. I'll take care of this end myself.
All right, Father.
The chief and Tim are frankly not a bit reluctant to obey and leave the snake to Spider Jones. Quickly, they take their place at the narrow end of the funnel, untying the ropes which will lower the net when the time comes.
Say, Chief, what do you think of that? He's let that ramp down and he's climbing right into the truck.
Don't worry. Spider knows what he's doing.
Yes, but good grief, look at the size of that python. And there he goes, slithering down the ramp onto the floor.
Tim, listen.
Yes, sir?
The monkeys stopped chattering the minute they saw that snake.
Yes, sir. Maybe this scheme of Spider's will work.
Yeah. Looks like it might. You hear that?
Yes, sir. One of the monkeys. I can't see him, but I can hear him.
Look.
Huh?
Halfway down. There he is.
Oh, yes, sir.
And there's another. And another.
Yes, sir. The minute that snake came into view, they started popping out like Mexican jumping beans. Look, there's more of them.
You sure want to get away from that python?
Yeah.
Now stand by with that net.
Yes, sir.
We may get a chance to drop it. Yep, here they come, the whole gang.
Yes, sir. What? Watch them now, men. They're ready with the net.
Okay, let them get a little nearer.
Yes, sir.
All right, down with the net.
Yeah, that does it, sir. We got every last one of them. Yeah, Spider knew that would bring him out. Well, we'd better get back to him now, since we can't help.
Come on, son. Those monkeys are so tangled up in that net, they'll never get out.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Spider, do you need any help?
Well, I can't think of anything at the moment. Come on over and say hello to my friend.
Well, you mean just walk up to that snake as close as you are? Isn't he dangerous?
Well, the monkeys thought so. That's the main thing. And so does Mr. Lang, sitting up there in the rafters.
That python, Spider, won't he get loose here in the warehouse? Make our problem worse than it was?
Well, our only problem is to get him back in the truck. I had the head keeper feed him a good meal before he left the zoo. I practically had to push him out of the truck.
You had to what?
Sure. That old snake hasn't got an interest in the world. But he left in peace and quiet to digest his dinner. Dangerous? Why, he's safe as a house right now. Of course, the monkeys didn't know that, and... Hey, what's the matter with you two? Oh, yeah, I forgot. Hey, you didn't either.
A couple of hours later, Chief Cody and Tim Collins are talking over their strange experience with the monkeys, a rescue job that looked for a while as though it had completely stumped the chief. But now that it's over, they can relax and have a good laugh.
Tim, I'll bet this is one day you'll never forget, the day the monkeys got loose.
Yes, sir. When you said anything can happen in the fire service, you weren't fooling, were you?
Have you heard about Mosnowski? Is he still scratching, I wonder?
Oh, I just called him, sir. He says the doctor gave him a dusting like he was a mother hen. He's all right now.
Well, this little monkey experience just goes to prove, Tim, there's a lighter side to everything, even firefighting.
Yes, sir. Good laugh is the answer to a lot of troubles. Just like water's the answer to putting out a fire.
I agree, Tim, but I'm afraid your example isn't a very good one.
Oh, what do you mean, sir? That water isn't the answer to a fire? I know in some cases, like electrical
I'm
fire...
talking about a plain, ordinary fire that has to be put out with water. And yet sometimes it's the most dangerous thing you can use.
Well, oh, that sounds impossible, sir.
Let me get that phone, and then I'll tell you what I mean.
Well, Chief Cody doesn't know it, but in a moment it will be time for action, not talk. And yet nothing could illustrate what he was saying better than what's ahead. You ask, how could it ever be dangerous to use plain ordinary water on a plain ordinary fire? Well, for the answer to that, be sure to join us for your next true-to-life episode of The Firefighters. Chief Bob Cody will be back with a word for you boys and girls right after the following message. Here's Chief Cody with a message for all firefighters. Chief Cody.
Here are 3 mighty important rules to remember about those extension cords you use in your home. An ordinary cord can be used for lamps and cold appliances. A specially insulated and fireproofed one is needed for heating appliances such as toasters, irons, and broilers. And a rubber-covered cord is necessary for motor-driven appliances. That is all. Till next time, this is Chief Cody saying, so long.
Fire Chief Cody and the young rookie fireman Tim Collins will be back on the same station the next time you hear...
That's it. Let's roll!
Let's go! Firefighters!
Now stay tuned for X-1 on NBC.
Countdown for blast off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1, fire.
From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million could-be years on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, presents X-1. Tonight, Clifford D. Simak's story of the 21st century, How To.
Build your own 3-dimensional color TV set. Complete kit, screwdriver assembly in 3 hours. Nah, I've done that. Well, let's see. A dog is man's best friend. Build your own dog. Complete kit, spaniel model, only $250. Yeah, hey, that's it. My next project.
Gordon, is that you?
Yeah. Where are you?
Out on the terrace. I'm just finishing a landscape.
Oh, hi, yeah. Grace, look, did it come?
Now, don't kiss me. You'll get all full of paint.
I wasn't going to. Where's the package?
Well, they set it against the side of the house. Over there, see?
Oh, it came, huh? I want to look at it.
I would have put it down in the basement, but I couldn't lift it.
Hey, this is pretty heavy for a spaniel. I can't lift this myself.
Well, I'll start dinner as soon as I finish this part of the picture. I want to get the grass while the light's right.
Yes, all right, so no hurry. I want to examine the kit anyhow.
Of course, if you didn't waste our money on things like dog kits, maybe we could afford a robot, and I wouldn't have to cook.
Yeah, all right.
There. That should be enough for now. The light's beginning to get tricky. Good night. You're not going to open that thing here on the terrace. Now, you'll make a mess.
I just want to see the parts. You know, this thing's too big and heavy to be a dog kit.
Maybe it's a Great Dane.
No, it can't be. Look, here's the shipping tag.
From How To Kits, Inc. to Gordon Knight. One dog kit, spaniel model, $250, paid in full.
The Great Dane cost $350.
Well, all I can say is that must be the world's biggest spaniel.
Hey, you know, that's darn funny.
I told you I don't want you fooling around with it up here. Now take it down in
Grace,
the basement.
this can't be a dog kit. You know what I think? It's a robot.
A robot? But you didn't order a robot. What did you?
No, certainly not. They made a shipping error. That's about the size of it. Ah, doggone it. I'll have to put this crate back together again and call the express company.
Are you going to return it?
Well, certainly I'm going to return it. You don't think we can keep it, do you?
Well, why not? The tag says paid in full, so they can't say we owe them anything.
But it's a robot. They're expensive.
Well, I don't tell the company. We'll ever know. When inventory time comes around, there'll be short one robot and long one dog.
Of course, I've always wanted to put together a real robot. Lord knows when I'd get another chance.
Then it's settled.
No, it is not settled either. I'll tell you what, I'll put it together just to see what it's like. But I won't activate it, see? I mean, I'll disassemble it right away and ship it back to the company. Well, there we are. Grace, look at it. Isn't that a beauty, though?
You finished?
Well, all but the activating. Oh. Grace.
What?
You know, I was just thinking, how do I know I've got all the parts adjusted properly?
I haven't the remotest idea.
No, the only sure way would be to test it.
You mean activate?
Well, only for a minute or two, you understand? I mean, just to be sure.
Then what?
Well, then I'll disassemble it, naturally.
Well, all right. As long as you don't take too long.
No. I'll have it in a jiffy. Now, here, look. Oh, see, all I have to do is just put on the activating plate. And turn this lock nut. See, like so. Now, wait a minute. Just adjust the automatic current control. Yeah, there. Now, that should do it. Now, stand back. Now, I'll turn it on.
Well, I hope it works.
Oh, it'll work. I followed the directions to the letter. You ready? Now.
It works!
Yeah, I'll have to oil that joint. Wait. Grace, it's moving its head.
My name is Albert. I am a robot. What is there to do?
Well, it certainly has a nice voice.
Now, take it easy, Albert. Just sit down and rest, and we'll have a little talk.
There's no need to rest. I was made to work.
Well, as long as it doesn't need to rest, I can think of 100 things for it to do. Now, there's the house and the garden and the lawn.
No, look, Grace.
I wonder if he could learn to cook.
A robot can be taught to do anything a person can do.
Oh.
No, hold on a minute, Albert, please, and listen to me. We can't keep you, you understand. I mean, you were sent here by mistake. But, I mean, as long as you're activated, there wouldn't be any harm in letting you do a few things.
I can do anything.
Good. The whole house needs a thorough cleaning.
Grace.
Then, of course, I'd like some new drapes for the study.
No.
And the kitchen hasn't been painted for 4 years. Then there's that leaky faucet.
Oh, Lord.
Well, what's the matter?
Attachments. There aren't any. Look, he can't do all that stuff without attachments. And they cost almost as much as the robot itself.
Don't worry about attachments. Just tell me what's to be done.
Well, you heard my wife.
Oh, what about your grounds?
Oh, I got 100 beat-up acres that need attention, but of course I realize that's too much work, huh?
Don't worry about a thing. I can fix it for you. I will make the necessary equipment.
Make your own attachment?
Don't worry about a thing.
Yeah, but how?
Oh, for heaven's sake, stop arguing with him and let him get to work.
I'm not arguing.
Morning, Gordon. Your coffee's ready.
Yeah.
How'd you sleep, dear?
Oh, not so good. Kept hearing noises all night.
Oh, that was Albert working in the basement.
Yeah. Albert? Hey, gosh, that's right. I forgot robots don't sleep.
He was working all night. When I came into the kitchen just now, I found the breakfast all prepared. He can cook. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah. What's he doing now?
Oh, I don't know. Making something, I think. Oh, Gordon, he's going to be such a tremendous help to me. I'll be able to spend more time than ever with my painting.
Now, wait a minute. What makes you think we can keep him? I mean, no, Grace. I mean, we could get into trouble.
Oh, I don't see how. I'll tell you what. Why don't you walk over and call on Anson Lee? He could advise you.
What does he know about it?
He's a lawyer.
Well, technically, he's a lawyer. I mean, he never seems to work at it anymore.
Well, you have to understand Anson, that's all.
Look, I understand him all right. He's a reactionary, a throwback to the 20th century. Spends all his time lying in a hammock, drinking and reading Proust.
Well, it's what he enjoys doing.
I'll bet that guy never assembled a kit in his life. Can you imagine that?
Well, we all have our peculiarities. Just the same, he could give you legal advice.
Well, all right. I'll go over after breakfast if it'll make you feel any happier. Pass the cream.
I'll have a drink, Knight. Hard cider. Made it myself.
Thought you didn't go in for home projects, Lee.
Oh, I don't. Making this cider was the first honest work I've done in years.
I don't doubt it.
Every time I get a end to work, I look across at your place and I decide against it. How many rooms have you added to that house since you got it built?
8.
Good Lord. Think of that. 8 rooms.
No. It's not hard once you get the knack. It's kind of fun. You just buy a how-to kit.
Sure, I know. Just follow directions.
That's right.
Anybody can build a robot on a kitchen table. Well, no thanks.
Well, why do you say that?
What?
I mean about building a robot.
Oh, I don't know. I suppose I expect you to start building one any time now. You've done everything else. What's got into people these days, Knight? They just aren't equipped to enjoy their leisure. That is, most of them aren't. Me? I am. I read, and I lie in a hammock, and now and again I even think.
Yeah.
Yes, I guess that makes me an eccentric. Here, have another drink.
Oh, no, thanks. I'll have to get back to my place. Albert.
You call me, sir?
Yes, Albert, listen to me. Albert, I have reached a decision about you.
But I'm not Albert, sir.
Huh?
You would hardly expect Albert to be clipping hedges.
Well, if you're not Albert, who are you?
Abe. Albert is down in the basement.
Well, what are you doing here? Where did you come from?
If you wish to talk to me, you will have to move along the hedge with me.
Oh.
I cannot stop working.
Oh, okay, move along. But where did you come from?
Albert made me.
Albert made you?
And now he's down in the basement working on Alfred.
Alfred? Another robot?
Certainly. That is what Albert is for. He makes robots.
Oh, no. Albert.
Oh, there you are.
Albert, what's going on here?
I'm reproducing.
What?
I have a built-in mother urge. I don't know why they named me Albert. I should have had a female name.
Oh, but you shouldn't be able to make robots.
Look, boss, you worry a lot. You want robots, don't you?
Well, yeah, I guess everybody could use a robot.
I make robots. I'm making all you need.
Albert, put down that head and listen to me. I want to have a serious talk.
Sure, boss. What's on your mind?
Now, Albert, I just looked through your packing case and I found this tag. Look, it says X, 190. X, Albert. Don't you understand? That means you're an experimental model.
That's correct.
You were never meant to be sold.
That is also correct.
I know. Don't you see? That means trouble. I can't keep you.
I've already taken care of that.
How do you mean?
I filed off my serial number and replated the surface.
Well, why did you do that?
So that they can't come around and take me back. They made me, and then they got scared and shut me off. But you're not afraid of me.
I'm
You
not.
assembled me and let me go to work.
Yep.
I'm sticking with you, boss.
Wait a minute. This could mean a lot of trouble for me, Albert.
No trouble. They can't prove a thing. I'll swear that you made me. I'll not let them take me back. They will take no chances next time. They'll break me up for scrap.
Oh, but look, if you make too many robots...
Robots are useful. You need a lot of them in this place. Now, don't worry, boss. Everything will work out.
Well...
I'll take good care of you.
Yeah.
Now, I must go back to work. Adalbert is nearly finished.
Mr. Knight, I'm from the county tax office. Tax assessor.
Oh, I didn't know you fellas came around more than once a year.
Ordinarily, we don't. This is a special case.
Oh?
Made a lot of improvements in the place the past few days.
Oh.
Landscaping, painting, building.
Well...
Afraid I'll have to boost your assessment some.
I see.
Heard about those robots of yours, too.
Robots?
Personal property, you know. Have to pay a tax on them. Just, how many have you got?
Oh, 1 or 2.
I've been counting. They move around so fast I can't be sure, but I estimate the number at 38. That right?
If you say so.
38 it is, then. They cost $10,000 apiece. Let's assess them at 5. Let's see, that's $190,000.
Oh, no, hey, that's pretty steep.
But I'm going easy on you. By rights, I should only allow you a third for depreciation. Well, that's it, Mr. Knight. $190,000.
Wait.
We'll send you the bill with your quarterly statement.
But...
Good day.
Good day. Albert, look, I've been holding off until we got the new landscaping job under control, but I can't hold off any longer. I mean, we got to start selling some of the robots.
Selling?
Yeah, 20 of them. That should do for a start. The tax assessor was here. I need the cash.
You can't sell the robots, boss.
Why can't I?
Because they're my family, my boys. Named after me, all of them.
Albert, I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous.
They're all I've got, boss. You wouldn't sell your own children, would you?
Well...
All their names start with A, just like mine. Abe, Adelbert, Alfred, Adam, Aaron, Anton, Axel.
All right. Don't go through the whole roll call. I mean, the point is I need the money.
Don't you worry, boss. I'll fix everything. You have nothing to worry about.
The point is, Mr. Knight, the Internal Revenue Department is always interested when a citizen shows a substantial capital gain during the year.
Capital gain? I haven't made any capital gain.
Oh, come, sir. I'm talking about the matter of some 52 robots. Well, as I understand it, their retail value is $10,000 each.
So they say.
52 times 10,000 is $520,000. On capital gains, you pay 50% or $260,000.
200, oh.
A tax, roughly, of $130,000.
Well, what do I do?
By the 15th of next month, you must file a declaration of estimated income. You pay half of the due tax at that time, and the balance in monthly installments. And there's one other matter.
One other matter?
We investigated. We found you make $10,000 a year.
Huh?
Would you tell me, out of personal curiosity, you understand?
I understand.
Just how a man of your particular means could show a capital gain of $500,000 in so short a time?
I'm beginning to wonder myself.
Well, our only concern is you pay your tax.
Yeah.
However, some other branch of the federal government might very well want to ask some questions sometime.
Oh?
If I were you, Mr. Knight, I would be ready with some answers.
Yeah.
Good day.
Good day. Albert, now look, I tell you, this is a crisis. Do you understand it? Like it or not, I have got to sell some of your boys, a whole bunch of them.
Boss, I told you not to worry.
Not to worry. Listen, I just came from the income tax people. I owe the government a cool $130,000, and those boys don't fool around. I'm desperate.
Money is no trouble, boss. Come here.
Come where?
Over here. Look at this.
What's this? What, those bales? What have they got? Don't tell me.
Full of money, boss. Help yourself.
You mean the actual, real money in those bales? Not stage money now.
Real money, boss. No ones, of course, but lots of 10s and 20s.
Yeah.
That bale over there is full of 50s.
Full of 50s.
No, we didn't fool around with the ones.
Albert, look me in the eye. Did you make that money?
You said you needed it. We took some bills and analyzed the ink. I found out how to weave the paper and made plates. I hate sounding modest, boss, but they're beautiful.
Oh, my gosh, I'm a counterfeiter, too.
We just ran off as much as we thought you'd need.
Yeah.
If it's not enough, we'll make some more.
It's enough. Not another dollar.
Well, you're the boss.
Albert, listen to me. There are laws in this country. I mean, you just can't go out and print money. That's a crime, don't you understand? Now, look, you take it all outside and burn it right up. You understand? And don't print any more. That is an order.
Gordon, are you down here?
I'm busy.
I hate to disturb you, dear, but I thought you ought to know about the sheriff.
I don't want to know the sheriff.
He was here with a subpoena, or whatever you call them.
That's what you call them.
Seems the how-to company's going to sue us.
Oh, no. Oh, no, all right, that does it. That
Gordon,
does it.
Where are you going?
To see my lawyer.
Offhand, old man, I'd say you were in quite a jam.
I didn't have to walk all the way over here to find that out. The point is, Lee, what in the name of heaven can I do?
Well, first, you'll have to file a declaration of estimated income.
Even if I can't pay?
Well, especially if you can't pay.
Oh.
Technically, then, you haven't violated the law, and all they can do is to try to collect what you owe.
Yeah.
They'll probably slap an attachment on your bank account.
What bank account? I'm broke.
Oh. Well, then I'd say your major worry is the How-To company suit.
Yeah.
Now, if I were you, I'd settle it out of court.
Out of court?
Mm-hmm. They might call off the action if you returned all the robots.
Albert says he'll testify that I made him.
Well, Albert can't testify. As a robot, he has no standing in court.
Mm-hmm.
No, you better give them back and get what terms you can.
No. I won't do it.
Huh?
I won't. Don't you see? They don't want Albert back because they can use him. They want to break him up to maintain their robot prices. Don't you see? It might be 1,000 years before his principle is rediscovered, if it ever is.
Mm-hmm. Would that be bad?
I don't know. Only time will tell that, but, I mean, you could say the same thing about any great invention. Look, no, I will not let them destroy Albert.
Yes, I see your point, Knight. And I like it.
You like it?
Uh-huh. I'll take the case. Now, of course, I ought to warn you, I'm not a very good lawyer.
I know.
I don't work hard enough at it.
But I do have a chance, huh?
In all my practice at law, Knight, I never saw a man who had gotten himself as fouled up as this.
No.
I'd say your chances are nil.
Yeah.
Boss?
It's Albert.
Boss, I heard about the suit.
Yeah, it's all right, Albert. Mr. Lee here is going to handle our case.
We robots want to help.
I'm afraid there's not much you can do.
Oh, yes, there is. I'm building a lawyer robot.
He's building a lawyer robot.
With far greater memory capacity than any human. And with brain computers that operate on logic. That's what law is based on, isn't it? Logic.
Well, so I've heard. But it won't work, Albert. To practice law, you must be admitted to the bar. To be admitted to the bar, you must have a degree in law and pass an examination. And although there's never been an occasion to establish a precedent, I suspect the applicant must be human.
Lee, wait a minute. What about law clerks? I mean, they don't have to be human.
Well, I'd say that was completely true.
Yeah, then Albert's robots can be clerks.
Mm-hmm. Well, could be.
See what I mean?
Yes. It's never been done, but there's nothing in the law that says it can't be done.
Then it's settled. I'll make a dozen to start. Each one will be an expert in one phase of the law. Boss, you're going to have the most powerful battery of legal talent ever assembled under one roof.
Quiet in the court. Mr. Lee, what is the meaning of this outrage?
What outrage, Your Honor?
Those robots sitting at the defense table.
Oh, these, Your Honor, are my valued assistants.
Robots?
Yes, Your Honor.
Take them away. They have no standing in this court.
If Your Honor will excuse me, they need no standing. I am the sole representative of the defendant. My client is a poor man, and he is opposed by the most formidable array of legal talent money can buy. Now, surely the court will not deny him whatever assistance he's been able to muster.
This, sir, is highly irregular.
If it please Your Honor, I should like to point out that we live in a mechanized age. The court clerk uses a machine to take down the transcript of these very proceedings. To my certain knowledge, no court has ever challenged the presence of such a device as an aid to the furtherance of justice. Now, if Your Honor can point out anything in the law specifically barring these robots from the court...
That's ridiculous, sir. Of course there is no such provision. At no time anywhere did anyone dream such a contingency would arise.
In that case, sir, I ask the court for a favorable ruling.
Mr. Lee, as you point out, there is no precedent for my ruling in any way but in your favor. Therefore, sir, with reluctance, I do so at this time.
And what kind of a day has it been? It's a day in which a new kind of trial has suddenly captured the imagination of the public. A trial in which a man accused of misappropriating a robot has brought into court a whole battery of robots to aid in his defense.
To give validity to their argument, Your Honor, it must first be proved that these robots are, in fact, the property of the plaintiff. That is the issue at trial in this case.
So, in the now famous robot case, the issue has come down to this. Was the robot stolen or was he liberated? It is a far-reaching question indeed.
Your Honor, I have already established that robots are possessed of free will, that they have the power of reasoning, and that they can most certainly reproduce. As to my worthy opponent's fourth contention, that they have no spiritual sense, I contend that this is irrelevant. There are agnostics and atheists in the human race, and in general, no one has denied them their full rights on this count.
And so the trial has at last come to its end. The whole nation, indeed the whole world, awaits the momentous decision which must be handed down. In Washington, D.C., Treasury officials have been meeting steadily for a week to find some way to avoid the loss of the enormous taxes on robots in the event the decision rendered is in favor of the defense. One high government official has said that if robots are declared free and equal, it means they must be given full citizen rights under the Constitution. Already, the chairmen of both major political parties are mapping campaigns to corner the robot vote.
Welcome home, darling.
Yeah, thank you. But what's going on here, Grace? I have more trouble getting into my own home than into the Pentagon.
Oh, you mean the robots? They've set up a defense perimeter.
A defense...
Uh-huh.
Albert.
Hello, boss. Welcome home.
Albert, what is the meaning of all the barbed wire and the rocket launchers?
Just precautions, boss. We're ready for any situation.
Such as?
Oh, like a mob deciding to take justice into its own hands, for instance.
Or if the decision goes against us?
That too, boss.
Dear, you two go on and talk. I've really got to get back to my painting. I have a beautiful still life that I simply got to finish.
Yeah, finish. Albert, listen. You can't fight the whole world.
We won't go back. How Two Kits Incorporated will never lay a hand on me or any of my children.
Albert, this is madness, don't you understand? They'd get you with one bomb. And me, too.
Better to die fighting, boss, than to live in chains.
I don't know.
That's our motto. No matter what happens, we're ready for the decision.
The court is ready to render its decision. It is the most difficult decision I have ever made. For in following the letter of the law, I fear I may be subverting its spirit. After long days of earnest consideration of both the law and the evidence, as presented in this court, I find for the defendant, Gordon Knight. I cannot rule otherwise. May I add that this ruling, in spite of the fact that I myself made it, outrages my social conscience.
You did it, boss. You did it. We're free.
Yes, Albert. We sure did it. Where's my wife?
In the studio, painting.
Not another landscape.
Her fifth this week. She's doing very well.
Yes, isn't she?
And I am working on a new robot for her. A painter. Soon she won't have to bother doing it herself.
That's nice.
And you won't have to do anything anymore either, boss.
Oh?
Not a thing.
Oh?
We're going to take care of you from here on out.
Thanks.
Did I tell you about my new children yet?
No, I don't think so.
Alice, Angeline, Agnes, Agatha, Alberta, and Abigail.
Daughters?
6 of them, boss. And all with a built-in reproducing instinct just like mine.
Oh, no.
They're down in the basement now turning out robots.
Great.
We've got everything worked out for you, boss. You won't have to worry about a thing for the rest of your life.
No, Albert. Not a thing.
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, which this month features Name Your Symptom by Jim Harmon, a story of a future in which anyone who shunned the cure needed to have his head examined, assuming he still had one left. Galaxy Magazine on your newsstand today. Tonight, by transcription, X-1 has brought you How To, a story from the pages of Galaxy written by Clifford D. Simak and adapted for radio by William Welch. Featured in the cast were Alan Bunce, Ann Seymour, Les Damon, Joseph Bell, James Monks, William Key, Lawson Zerby, Santos Ortega, and Ben Brower. Your announcer, Fred Collins. X-1 was directed by Daniel Sutter and is an NBC Radio Network production.
Hear Politics and Primaries, Dateline, Illinois, and Wisconsin, tonight on NBC Radio.
It is just before dark on the magic island of Euclidia. Captain Bradford and Mrs. Gregory are on the captive yacht, secretly transferring their valuables and navigation instruments to the diesel-motored cruiser which Johnson brought to the island to rescue them with. However, the boat was captured, but not Johnson, who transferred to another boat and is waiting somewhere north of the island for word from the prisoners. Jerry and Joan have gone into the lower levels of the island, trying to find a way to gain control of the Euclidean radio and power rooms. As they examine a scale model of the island in the sound channel, someone enters. Joan fires her ray gun, and Jerry falls as if the ray had put him to sleep. It is 1 minute later.
Was that the door?
Yes, Jerry. The guard is gone. You need not whisper.
Boy, was that a close call. And did you think fast when you told him you'd caught me in here and put me to sleep with a ray gun?
That was the only thing I could think of to tell him. And he knows this ray gun I have is one of the 300-second type, so he expects you to sleep for 5 minutes.
Oh, how long is it since I had to take a tumble when he came in the room?
Exactly 59 seconds from the time I fired the ray gun until you heard the door close. I was looking at my personal chronometer when the guard came in.
Oh, cut out that personal chronometer stuff. That's the wristwatch to you from now on. Personal chronometer.
Very well, Jerry. But we must hurry and do something now. We have not more than 2 minutes. Then the guard will return to take you to the confinement cells as I requested.
Yeah, and you sure fixed it fine for me. Telling that mug I'd stay asleep all right until he could go and get permission about putting me in a cell.
There was nothing else to do, Jerry. And we are fortunate in being in this particular chamber.
What's so good about it?
It is the only room on the island without direct communication to the control rooms. If we had been found in any other room, the guard would have used the speaker to the control room and taken you off at once.
Well, let's get a move on. Or he'll have a swell chance to catch us here and tote me off anyway. Where can we go?
We have no choice. We must use the noisy elevator we used to leave this room before.
Okay, come on. We can talk some other place. If we can find a place where they can't hear us. Hey, I don't like my voice changing like that.
It is because we are crossing another sound zone in this room, Jerry.
Well, I know why it is, but I don't have to like it, do I?
Here is the elevator, Jerry. We must hurry.
Yeah. We have to yank this door open, don't we?
You open it yourself, if that is what you mean.
Well, that's it. Here we go. Now where?
I must think a moment, Jerry.
Think fast, then. When that guy comes back and finds we're gone, he'll know this elevator's the only place we could possibly be.
That is right, Jerry. Push the indicator for the 4th level. We will go up and leave the car there. I think I know where we may find a room in which to discuss our plans further.
Here goes. Boy, they sure skipped the soundproof gag on this one.
This noisy elevator may help us a great deal, Jerry. No one can hear us talking in here, and the progress of this elevator is not recorded in the control room.
I don't mind the noise, but what if that guard has come into the room we just left? Won't he hear this thing going up?
He will know we use it even if he does not hear it.
Yeah, and if he heard that, he'll know what floor we stopped it on, too.
Get out quickly, Jerry. I will send the car on up to another level.
Okay. Boy, listen to the quiet.
You cannot listen to quiet, Jerry. Silence is complete absence of sound, and you cannot hear an absence of sound.
Golly whiskers. Here we are in the middle of this crazy island with Euclideans hunting us with ray guns, and you stop to give me a lecture on how still is quiet.
If you are not more quiet, we will soon meet those ray guns.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Joan. Well, where do we go now?
We will hardly be heard here unless someone comes this way searching for us. Now, Jerry, I think this is what we must do.
Go on.
Just around this curve in this channel is one of the tiny cubicles occupied by a guard. We must take that station over.
And the guard's got a ray gun?
Yes, Jerry. And his ray gun is not just one of these harmless, sleep-producing ones we have.
Gee whiz, Joan. How do we do it?
We will have to catch him off his guard for an instant and put him to sleep with one of our ray guns.
Yeah, but even if we get a chance to do that before he uses his gun on us, won't he have that protective paint on his hands and face so the rays won't hurt him any?
Yes, he will undoubtedly have that. But I have noticed the Euclideans many times putting the paint on. They are very careless, Jerry. They hardly ever bother to put it on the backs of their necks or behind their ears. We could easily put the guard to sleep if he would turn his back.
Yeah, and if we only had a few minutes more down in that sound room, we could have covered ourselves with that paint, and by this time that guard will be down there looking for us.
And we must hurry, Jerry. Now we will walk quietly around the first turn in this wall. Then, I have it. You will go and speak to the guard. Tell him who you are. Explain that you are looking for the laboratory to wake the scientists up with the formula Captain Bradford has given you.
Yeah? Then what?
Pretend to be very stupid, Jerry. Even more so than you seem at times.
Hey!
Then you will get the guard to come out of his little niche in the wall and turn to point the way for you. He will naturally point toward the general elevator, as none of the Euclideans ever think of using this noisy one.
Oh, hurry up, Joan. Then what?
Then he will have his back turned this way, and I shall use my 300-second ray on him. In that way I will be sure of hitting the back of his head. And we can only hope he was careless in putting on the protective paint.
Wait a minute. How straight do those guns shoot?
You have seen them work, Jerry.
Well, I mean, how much does the beam scatter? How far do I have to be away from the guy so he won't hit me with a ray?
You may be within inches of him, Jerry. The beam will not be wider than his head, and I will not miss.
Well, if you do, don't stay there 5 minutes for me to wake up. Get yourself out of this and run for the yacht.
I will stay with you, Jerry.
Hey, listen. That elevator we just got out of, it's running again.
So it is. It is going down again. That means the guard in the sound channel has decided we came this way and will come after us.
Listen a minute, Joan. It just passed this floor going down. He'll be in it in a minute and be up here. We'd better hurry and get to this other guard.
No, wait, Jerry. We must not try that now.
Why not?
We wouldn't have time to dispose of the other guard before this one would come along and find us. And if we were seen with ray guns in our hands and the Euclidean guard on the floor in front of us, I'm afraid we might never get back to my mother's boat.
Okay, but what can we do about this fellow coming up in the elevator?
It is nearly 100 feet to the other guard. If we are very quiet, we may possibly be able to capture the one who comes out of the elevator without alarming the lookout.
Okay, we're on our way. What then?
Then we must stand on either side of the door. You over there, Jerry, and I will stand here, so. Now remember to keep as nearly flat against the wall as possible.
Okay, I'm all set. And remember about the back of his head.
The elevator is starting now.
Yeah, and he's only got one floor to come.
When you hear the magnets catch again, the car will be at this floor.
He's getting nearer now.
Have you your ray gun ready?
Yeah, if I don't get nervous and shoot myself.
Hush, Jerry. Ready.
Oh, boy. He went right on past. I thought for a minute he was coming out on this floor.
He did open the door just a crack, but I think he remembered the guard on this floor, and he knew that we could not have passed him.
Listen. There he goes. He didn't stop on the third level either.
Then we have more time than I had hoped for.
We don't need time. All we need is nerve enough to get after that guard up there.
I am not sure we need even do that, Jerry. I think I see how we may reach the power control room in comparative safety.
But I thought we didn't want to get there first.
We no longer have any choice, Jerry. They will search every inch of the upper levels for us now.
But we can't get off this level without going past that guard.
Yes, we can, Jerry.
How?
This elevator shaft.
But that guard's using the elevator. And it sounded to me like he'd stopped on the second level. So he'll be coming back and using the elevator some more when he finds out we're not on that level.
But we will not be in the elevator, Jerry.
Maybe not by the time he wants it. But he'll see it's been moved, and then we're going sure.
We will use the elevator shaft, but not the elevator.
Huh? Did you ever try using an elevator without an elevator in it? Nothing doing.
You can climb, can you not, Jerry?
Oh, sure I can climb.
Then we will climb down the side of this elevator shaft. There is a narrow steel ladder inside the shaft for emergencies.
Yeah. And when we're about halfway down, that guard takes a notion to make a quick trip to the bottom, and when the car drops, it'll knock us off the ladder like mosquitoes.
But the car will stay just where it is, Jerry. I know how to fix that. And we must go down. We can no longer go up because that guard is sure we are on the higher level.
No, you're right about that. And we'd better do something quick. It's about 7 o'clock, and we've only got until 8 to fix things so the boat can get away.
Very well, then. I will open this door. Now, if you will feel around just inside the door, on the right, you will feel the little ladder set into the wall of the shaft.
Oh, just inside here, huh? Yeah? Yeah, here it is.
You start down it at once, Jerry. I will follow you. And go quietly and fast. Do not use your flashlight. Hurry, Jerry.
Okay, Joan. Wait a minute, Joan. What's going to stop that elevator from being run down on our heads?
I'm going to tear a piece out of my dress and put it in the contact stop. Then the electrical circuit will not close, and the car cannot be operated.
Okay, but hurry up.
Yes, Jerry. Now I think I have a piece large enough. Go on down the ladder, Jerry, so I may step on it and partially close the door after me.
Going down, Joan.
Keep going, Jerry. I'm closing the door softly. So, now I will come down after you.
How far are we from the bottom of this thing?
More than 50 feet.
50 feet from the bottom? On this little steel ladder? In the dark? Aren't you afraid, Joan?
No, Jerry. If you use the ladder carefully and think about nothing except going down, it is no more dangerous at 50 feet than it would be at 5.
You may be right. Hey, we've passed the level already.
Yes, that was the 5th level where the laboratory is.
Joan, can you hear me?
Yes, Jerry.
Did you hear that? The elevator car is coming down on us.
But here's the 6th level. We will go in here and... Jerry! Oh, Jerry.
What's the matter?
I cannot open this door. We cannot get out of here, Jerry.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P, Pep. Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman. Today, as we begin an exciting new adventure, Andy Meyer's big story has led the private detective straight into a mysterious ambush.
Hello there, gang. This is your pal, Dan McCullough. You know, one of the best things about the prizes in Kellogg's Pep is the swell surprise when you see which one of the 3 different kinds of Pep prizes you'll find in your next package. For instance, you might find one of 18 different comic buttons to pin on your jacket or your beanie cap, each picturing a favorite comic strip character in bright color. Or you might find a model of a famous Allied fighting plane, one of 7 exciting plane models in the series, made of colored cardboard and a cinch to put together. Or you might find a beautiful full-color bird picture from a series of 24, each with a description on the reverse side, so that you'll be a bird who really knows birds. Yes, you'll find one or the other of these 3 slick kinds of prizes in every package of Kellogg's Pep. And while you're collecting them, just think of the prize eating you can put in when you sit down to breakfast with a dish of those crisp flakes of whole wheat before you. Think of the keen, catchy flavor, that light, fresh sunshine flavor, that terrific Pep flavor you spoon up all cool and refreshing. Yes, sir, a bowl of Pep with cool milk and sugar is strictly on the beam. In fact, from every angle, Pep's a prize dish. So get wise to the prize in your next Pep package. Ask Mom to get you Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal.
Now, the adventures of Superman. After rescuing Editor Perry White and John Grayson and crushing the attempt by Rufus Pelly to wreck the World Peace Federation, Superman returned to the Daily Planet in his guise of reporter Clark Kent. He had hardly arrived when he received a phone call from his friend Candy Myers, the private detective, who told him to come to his house in half an hour and be in on a terrific news story. But a few minutes later, in the little yard behind his waterfront bungalow, Candy was ambushed by several men who leaped at him from the darkness. As we continue now, unaware of what has happened, Kent is in a taxicab with Perry White, en route to keep his appointment with Candy. Listen.
Hey, it's almost midnight, Chief. You've had a rough time. You ought to go home to bed.
Nothing doing, Kent. I got one big scoop tonight, and now, according to Candy Myers, we're going to get another one. 2 news beats in one night. That's what happens when the old man rolls up his sleeves and goes to work.
Uh-huh. Meaning yourself, I presume?
Naturally. Didn't I get the Rufus Pelly story?
Why, yes, I suppose you did.
You suppose I did. If I didn't, who did? You?
Well, I might have had a little to do with it.
Are you kidding? You weren't within 40 miles of the island when Superman and I wrapped up Mr. Pelly and his rats and the story.
Oh, it was you and Superman, eh?
You bet it was. Well, I'll admit he did most of the work.
Nice of you to admit that.
But I was on the ball every minute.
Uh-huh.
Just goes to show that when the chips are down, the old man can give you young pup reporters all the breaks and still come home with the story.
You're wonderful, Chief.
Yeah. Well, what'd you say?
Nothing.
Yeah. I wonder what this story is that Candy Myers has got hold of.
All I know is he said it would rip this town wide open.
Sounds wonderful. Myers doesn't talk through his head, does he?
Oh, sir, not Candy.
Oh, good. Say, this driver must think we're out for the air. Look, driver, we're in a hurry.
Relax, Bud.
Bud?
We're practically there.
Hey, do you mind using all 4 wheels when you turn a corner?
You said you was in a hurry, didn't you?
Sure, but I want to get there alive.
Easy, Chief. Here we are.
My goodness. What a driver.
Well, this is it, kids.
Kids?
That'll be 165.
I got it, Chief.
Never mind. Keep your money. Here you are, driver. Keep the change.
Much obliged, Pop.
No, it's Pop. Now, listen, you.
Wait a minute. Come on, Chief. Come on. Don't be so sensitive.
It's all right. Let go my sleeve.
Oh, for fun.
Well, this is a forsaken neck of the woods. Oh, damn, too. What does Candy live out here for?
Well, he used to be a waterfront detective, and he likes the waterfront.
No accounting for taste.
What's this that?
I see him.
Huh. That's funny.
What is?
Candy isn't home.
How do you know he isn't?
Well, I can... Well, there are no lights.
No, it's late. I'd have decided to take a little nap until we got here.
No, he didn't. I mean, that isn't likely.
Now, look. I was with Superman tonight. I saw him face to face, and take my word for it, you're not anything like him. So stop trying to see through the door. Ring the bell. Go on.
Well, all right. But I tell you...
Never mind. He said to be here in 30 minutes, didn't he?
Yes.
And it's about 45 minutes since he called.
I know, but Great Scott.
What? What's the matter?
The backyard. Follow me, Chief. What? Here, Candy, on the ground, Chief. Candy.
Good Godfrey. Well, what happened to us?
Either in an accident or... Oh, no, he was beaten. Terribly beaten.
Well, who... Oh, never mind. Listen to his heart, Ken. Is he?
All right.
Is he?
Just a minute, please, Chief. Yes, his heart's beating. Very weakly. Uh-oh, wait a minute. What's this in his hand?
Looks like a handkerchief.
Yes, it is a handkerchief, but...
But what? Are you going to waste time looking at a handkerchief at a time like this? We've got to find a doctor.
No, I know. Wait a minute. The Marine Hospital isn't far from here. We'll take Candy there.
Well, now, how? We haven't got a car.
We'll go to the corner and find a cab.
Okay. I hope I can find one.
There, he's gone. Now, out of these clothes. Quickest way to get poor Candy to the hospital is a Superman. There we are, all set. Now, up with him. Gently. So. Now, up, and away!
Now, listen, what's
it? Loud, Chief. You're in a hospital.
Well, what happened? When I got back with the cab, you and Candy were both gone. How'd you get here?
I found some fast transportation.
Now, what do you mean? I was only gone a minute.
What's the difference? Here comes the doctor. Doctor, how's Candy Myers?
Pretty weak, but he'll pull through.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh, that's wonderful. Can we see him?
Not until morning, Mr. Kent. The poor chap received a terrible beating.
Yes, I know. That's why we want to see him as soon as
we want to find out if he knows who the rascals are who did it.
It will have to wait until morning. Mr. Myers needs rest, and we've given him a sedative to make sure he gets it.
I see.
Well, come on, Kent. We'll grab a few hours' sleep at the newspaper club and be back first thing in the morning.
He's right in here,
gentlemen. Now remember, Mr. Myers is much better, but don't let him talk too much.
We won't, Doctor. Come on, Chief.
Much obliged, Dr. Ross.
Well, that's all right.
Good Godfrey. Look at all the bandages on him, Kent. Yes, poor chap. How you doing, Candy?
Oh, hello, Kent.
Hi.
Hiya, Mr. White.
Well, how are you feeling?
Well, like I was put through a meat grinder.
That.
How's with you?
Oh, we're
Who gave you the works, Candy?
Oh, some bad boys.
What bad boys?
Oh, their names escape me at the moment.
Come on. I can see you know who they are.
Well, I got a rough idea.
Well, then tell us. We want to help you.
Thanks, chum, but I don't need any help.
Oh, now, look here, Candy.
You heard me, Kent. This is strictly my own party. I suspect a very fancy double cross.
Well,
some boys got rough, so... Okay, little Candy will have to prove to some punks he can take care of himself.
Yes, but look, Candy...
How'd the Dodgers come out yesterday? Anybody know?
He's stalling. I know it. Now, listen to me, Candy. You were beaten within an inch of your life.
You're telling me...
And now you've got some fool idea of settling things in your own way. Now, you're a detective. You know that isn't the way to play.
You all through, Kent?
Well, for the moment.
Then tell me how the Dodgers made out yesterday.
Oh, confound it, Myers. Just a moment. Look, Candy, what happened to you last night was tied up with the big story you said you had for me. Isn't that right?
I'm not talking, chum.
But you've got to talk. Look, I don't know what this is all about, but I do know that you're heading for more trouble. A lot more. Here. Look at this.
What's that?
A handkerchief. It was carefully placed in your hand when I found you last night.
Yes, I remember. But, well, boy, look, there's writing on it.
There is. What does it say?
It's printed very roughly in ink. It says, keep your nose clean.
What?
In the vernacular, Chief, that means keep your nose out of other people's business.
Oh, the dirty rats. They thought they could scare me into laying off my investigation, huh? They thought I'd be scared to even go near that subway now and...
Subway?
What about a subway?
All right, come on, Candy, come on, give. What's this about a subway and an investigation?
Well, every time I open my big mouth, I put my foot in it. Okay, chums, I guess I'll have to give you the lowdown.
Good. Well, it's about time.
Right now, my head is spinning like a top.
What?
There are polka dots in front of my eyes.
Get Dr. Ross, Kent.
No. I'm okay. Just weak. Doc said I'd be like this for a few days.
Oh.
But what about... Well, let me grab 40 winks first. Say about a half hour.
Oh, sure.
Come back then, and I'll give you a story that'll make your eyes pop, and I mean pop.
Okay, Candy, sure. Half an hour. Come on, Chief.
What is the exciting story which Candy Myers has promised to reveal? Stand by for the startling climax of today's episode, which follows in just a moment.
You know, if you made a list of the good things you wanted a breakfast cereal, they'd add up to Kellogg's Pep. Sure. Take the way it looks, for instance. You like a dish that looks cool and crisp and melt in your mouth tender? And that's Kellogg's Pep. And then take flavor. Well, you just wouldn't ask for anything more delicious than Pep's light, keen sunshine flavor. Why, Pep is called the Sunshine Cereal. Those nippy whole wheat flakes give your appetite the old come on every time. And then take the prizes Pep gives you. 3 different kinds of prizes, 1 in every package of Pep. Makes each prize seem 3 times as exciting because, well, you never know which one you're going to get next. For instance, you might find a colored cardboard model of an Allied fighting plane, and you'd be sharp to collect all 7 model planes in the series. Or you might find one of Pep's 24 full-color bird pictures with a description on the reverse side to help you identify these birds wherever you spot them. Or you might find a bright-colored comic button with a famous character right out of the funnies. You can collect all 18 of these buttons to pin on your beanie cap or your jacket. So start collecting all 3 kinds of these snappy prizes. Ask Mom to get you a package of Kellogg's Pep tomorrow.
After waiting for 30 minutes in the hospital lobby, Clark Kent and Perry White are on their way back to Candy Myers' room to hear the detective's story when Dr. Ross hurries toward them.
Oh, Mr. Kent.
Mr. White.
Yes, what is it, Doctor?
Mr. Myers.
Candy?
What about him?
He's gone.
Gone? What do you mean?
Well, I wanted to see how he was getting along.
Yes?
So, I went to his room a few moments ago, and he wasn't there.
What?
That's right. Once more, he's no place in the hospital. I can't understand it. He seems to have vanished.
Oh, good Godfrey.
Their jaws dropping in amazement, Clark Kent and Perry White stare at the pale physician. How could the injured Candy Myers disappear from the hospital in broad daylight? What has happened to Candy? Is this latest development a further sequel to the startling story he had promised to reveal? Tomorrow's episode is tense and exciting, fellows and girls, so don't miss it. Tune in, same time, same station.
And remember, for breakfast, it's Kellogg's Pep.
For excitement, the adventures of Superman.
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC comic magazines and is brought to you Monday through Friday at the same time by Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal. You know, gang, you never forget a famous name. Like Kellogg, the greatest name in cereals. Kellogg brightens up breakfast with Kellogg shredded wheat. 15 crisp, tender biscuits in every package. There's loads of natural nut-sweet flavor in toasty Kellogg shredded wheat. Loads of fine nutrition, too. It's whole wheat. And these plump, delicious biscuits are just the right size, made to fit the bowl. Try them soon. Ask Mom for Kellogg shredded wheat. And be sure to be with us tomorrow for the thrilling adventures of Superman. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
You were trapped in the native quarter of Mozambique. 2 dead men at your feet, the police closing in on you. And beside you, a sultry girl who offers you escape.
Escape, produced and directed by William N. Robeson, and carefully contrived to free you from the 4 walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
Tonight we escape to Portuguese East Africa, to the fetid alleys and dangerous rooftops of Mozambique, in the highly incredible yet somehow thoroughly plausible adventure by Percival Gibbon, entitled The Second Class Passenger.
That's me, Ronald A. Dawson, second-class passenger. Oh, I could have afforded first class by pinching a little here and there, but nobody back at Rolston's department store in Cedar Rapids will ever know. The important thing is they're saying Ronald Dawson in Drapery is taking a cruise around the world. And then there's really very little difference in the accommodations. And the second-class passengers are every bit as interesting as the first-class crowd. Take Miss Patterson, for instance. You'd look far to find a more charming, likable, altogether desirable young lady. Just the life of the party. We've gotten to be quite good friends by the time our cruise put in at Mozambique. Although the competition was always stiff, I can tell you. There were times I wish those other two, Jones and Twitchell, had missed the boat somewhere along the line.
Well, we've still a good couple of hours before we sail.
How about a ride in one of these native carriages, Miss Patterson?
Oh, dear, do you think they'd be clean?
Personally, I doubt it.
Although I don't know as I should care too much now. That Wuzo made me so woozy.
Great stuff, Uzo. It would take a Greek to think up a drink like that.
Or to drink it.
American gentlemen like to buy pictures?
No.
Very interesting pictures. Take a look.
Oh? No. Go away.
You know, we might do the fort, though. The guidebook says it's the main point of interest. Now, let's see. Built by the Portuguese in 1600.
Oh, dear, never mind the statistics. I dare say the fort would be as dreary as the rest of the place.
Oh, yes. Mozambique's not at all like what you'd imagine.
Mozambique to be like?
That's a one-horse town, all right. Main street and a couple of alleys.
Oh, and it's so dirty. You know, you'd think they'd do something about it in this day and age.
I'd like to buy a fine knife.
No.
Field Point. Look, all fine work. Him belong to big Tanganyika chief.
I said no.
Maybe someday wanna need fine sharp knife.
No. Now, get out. What did I need a knife for?
To protect yourself from the savage natives, old man.
All you'd have to do is call a policeman. He isn't doing anything else. You see him? Look at him out in the center of the street directing traffic like he was at the corner of State and Madison.
Then the traffic consists of 2 donkeys and an ox cart.
Yeah.
It will be a relief to get back on board ship and have a nice hot bath.
Yes, and real American food instead of that greasy fried octopus we had for lunch at that Greek place.
Oh, my, weren't they awful?
That's part of the broadening experience of travel.
Yes, I suppose so. Like that cute idol that I bought. I can't wait to show that to the girls at the bank. You know, oh, dear, Miss Dawson.
Yes, Miss Patterson?
Where's my idol?
Why, I thought Jones had it, or Twitchell.
Oh, not me, old man.
Well, you insisted on carrying it for Miss Patterson, don't you remember?
Oh, dear, I must have left it back at the Greek restaurant. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I did so want that idol. Don't you think you could go back for it, Mr. Dawson?
Well, yes, of course. But I wonder if I'll have time before the boat sails.
Oh, I'm sure you will if you hurry.
Certainly, old man. You got more than an hour yet.
You're sure?
Oh, yes. The steward told me.
Then I'll go at once.
Oh, that's kind of you, my dear Mr. Dawson. Now, mind you don't miss the boat.
Well, I'll try not to. Why, chances are I'll catch up with you before you've reached the landing stage.
Fine. We'll wait for you till the very last minute.
I could have throttled that supercilious Jones insisting I had time. I knew there was time, but I had no desire to run off after a heavy bronze curio and leave Jones and Twitchell alone with Miss Patterson. She was too nice a person, and, they were such dreadful bores. Yes, and I suspected them of being phonies, too. But there was no helping it now, so I made my way back up the main street toward Lazarus' restaurant, where we'd had our indigestible Greek lunch. Somehow, this main street of Mozambique looked different now in the quick African twilight. The little saloons and the sidewalks were filling with men of every nationality and color. Many of them wore knives thrust through the belts of their thin white suits. Knives that looked as sharp as the glances they threw at me. I must confess, I felt a little strange and unwanted. Then, lounging toward me in the crowd, I saw a large woman, clad in a sort of burnous, but her brown face unveiled. She had very wide lips, and they were painted scarlet. And from the corner of her mouth, she dangled a cigarette. Her eyes were heavily mascaraed, and when she looked down at me, terror seized me. I was afraid she would speak to me. I didn't know what I should do or say, but she didn't. Instead, she laughed. And the way the loiterers responded, I was convinced that they were laughing with her at me. I must say I was relieved to reach the entrance of Lazarus' restaurant.
Good evening, sir. A little dinner for the gentlemen?
No, thank you. As a matter of fact, I just lunched here today. Very good. Excellent meal.
Thank you, sir.
I left a curio here, probably under the table. Have you found it?
A curio?
Yes. Some sort of a brass god. It was wrapped in newspaper.
Oh, yes. We got him right here for you.
Oh, that's good. That's fine. I'm in a hurry to get back to the boat.
Yes, you better hurry. Pretty soon she rains.
Rain? Why, there's not a cloud in the sky.
You see. Every night she rains in Mozambique.
Well, you ought to know, but I still doubt it. Oh, here. Buy yourself a cigar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. You hurry quick before she rains.
Don't worry about me. I'm not made of sugar, you know. In just the few moments I'd been inside the restaurant, night had fallen. That sudden nightfall of the tropics. I looked overhead and clearly saw the stars. Thinking what a bad weather forecaster the Greek was, I tucked Miss Patterson's silly bronze idol under my arm and started off for the waterfront. I hadn't gone 200 yards when a large, warm drop of rain splattered on the back of my neck. Then 2 more on my hat. And before I could take cover under an arch, it was raining like Iowa in April. It didn't look like it would let up soon, and I wondered if there might not be a shorter way to the waterfront than the long walk down the main street and then the long way to the left along the docks. Surely one of these alleys that turned off to the left would lead me directly to the harbor and the landing stage. So I left the protection of the archway and turned into the alley at my left. 4 steps from the main street, and I was engulfed in darkness, wading through filth and mud over my ankles. But I was certain that I was on the right track, so I walked on and went straight into a blank wall. I turned to retrace my steps, but I could see no lights anywhere. I felt along the wall until it gave into another alley, followed it to another blank wall, and thence into another one. And now I knew I was lost. And now it began to rain in earnest. It pelted, it stamped, it whipped, it stung, it flashed. In a moment I was drenched to the skin. If it was dark before, it was now black as a tomb. I struggled onward because it was too terrible to stand still and feel myself being beaten to the earth by the sheer weight of the rain. I don't know how far I walked through those foul and fetid passageways, nor for how long. But at last, feeling my way around a corner, I saw a slit of light, a horizontal flicker beckoning beneath the door, and I heard voices. I lifted the bronze idol and rapped on the door with it, and the voices stopped.
What do you want?
I've lost my way. I'm wet through, and I don't know where I am. Please let me in. Please, let me in.
Of course you may come in. You aren't exactly who we expected, but come in. Come in.
I walked into a room that was unfurnished, save for a littered table and some chairs, and a gaudy picture of the Virgin that hung on the wall. On each side of it was a sconce, in which a slovenly candle guttered. A woman was perched on the corner of the table, a heavy shawl over her head. Under it, the dark face, propped in the fork of her hand, glowed sullenly, and her bare white arm was like a menacing thing. In a chair near her, a grossly fat man was huddled, scowling heavily under thick, fair brows, while the other man, he who had opened the door, stood smiling. The woman laughed softly and pointed to the image dangling in my hand.
What is that?
I beg your pardon?
That parcel you are carrying.
Parcel? Oh, it's a curio, an idol of some sort. A friend of mine left it at the restaurant.
And you are a tourist from the cruise boat?
Yes, that's right. How did you know?
What are you doing here so late and so wet? The boat sails soon.
I know. I was trying to take a shortcut to the landing stage. I got lost somehow. I came ashore with some friends from second class. I left them to come back and fetch this idol, and here I am.
Give the young man a chair, Egon.
Oh, thank you very much. But I must go on as soon as the rain stops. If you can direct me...
It will not stop for a while yet. You may as well wait here.
Yes. We may be able to provide some entertainment for our second-class tourist. As soon as your friends arrive, my dear.
Friends. The police are not my friends.
You led them to us?
Would you walk about with your knives forever while I take all the risks?
Risks? Huh.
7 months you have done what you willed, untouched. I bought you freedom for 7 months, with smiles and love. Now you take your turn. One uses a knife, one goes to prison. 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. Who knows?
You could have talked with the prefect of police again.
Again and again. And for what? Life is not spending money. One pays for living, my friend, with work. Sometimes with jail. I have paid. Now is your turn.
You could have helped us once more. Only once more and we could have been out of the sewer and on the coast to Lorenzo Marx or Cape Town.
Why didn't you? Why didn't you help us once more?
Yes, why?
Always you say once more, once more. Now there is no more.
You are a sheep pig, a defiled and debauched.
I beg your pardon, sir.
What?
That's no way to speak to a lady.
What?
I'm serious. I don't like to hear such language used to a lady. I must ask you to apologize.
What the devil have you got to do with this?
You just came in out of the rain from the second class.
Please. Don't fight with him. There's trouble enough already.
But what the devil right has he got to come in here and tell me?
Yesterday you stabbed the Egyptian.
What of it?
Don't stab this one. You want the police to find you here with a corpse?
A corpse?
What does it matter how the police find us? We wait for them because we have no choice. You put them on us. We should do away with you.
Why do you lie? Even to yourself. Why must you hide your own blame behind my skirts? Great Mother of Heaven, you are neither man nor beast. You are...
Don't go on. Don't you dare say it.
There. You are just a Salmak.
No one says that to me and live.
He's got a knife.
Salmak.
No, you don't. Stand back or I'll brain you with this idol.
You'll do what? You think I carry only a knife?
Pig! Dog, I waited for this! He forgot. I carry a knife.
Oh. Look what I did to him with this bronze idol. Horrible.
It makes a good weapon, your idol. It was a grand blow. A king's blow. You cannot help him now.
I killed a man with this little curio. And you've killed another with your knife. 2 men murdered. Oh, I must get back to the ship. You must come with me.
To the ship? Oh, la la. You think I'd be welcome in the second class?
Well, I don't know.
We must go somewhere. The police will be here any minute.
The police?
Yes. Come. He's not raining so hard now. The police.
Oh.
They have come for those 2. They will be on both sides of us. Here, hold my hand.
Yes.
Stand perfectly still. I will tell you when it's safe to move. Now. They are all around us so they won't hear us. Come, now.
Where are we going?
We are escaping. But if you know from what we are escaping, you would not care where. Hurry. Hang on to my hand. And hurry. They have found the bodies. Now they are after us.
What will we do?
There is a door nearby. We must find it. Or feel along the wall. Here. Father. It must be here.
Yes, here it is.
Push it in.
It won't budge. It's bolted from inside.
You must push it in. It's the only way.
Here. Hold the side of it.
I have it.
Now. Not yet.
Hit it again.
It's giving.
Once more. Good. My friend, my great, strong friend. Up the stairs now. Quickly.
Where are we going now?
To the roof. Wait.
Huh?
The rain has stopped.
Yes. The stars are coming out.
There is your ship out in the harbor.
I must get to it.
Listen. You hear them? We are not safe yet. Over the wall to the next roof. Hurry. Now, over to the next parapet.
Up. Oh. Are you all right?
Come up quietly.
Yes. What's that down there? A tent?
Yes. People are asleep. You must walk like a rat.
Who are they?
Who knows? If they see us, they will think you have come after the women.
Oh, but we could say...
There would be nothing to say. Shh. Someone's crawling out of the tent.
A man. With a sheet wrapped around him. He's coming this way.
Yes.
Why doesn't he see us?
His eyes are clouded with sleep, perhaps.
If he sees us?
It will be too late.
Then he won't. There. And there. Well, that took the fight out of him.
Take this, my little knife. Just a prick, and he is quite safe.
Oh, no, he's still enough now. He won't harm us. I really did him in, didn't I?
It was splendid. With only the bare hands to take an armed man.
Armed? I didn't know he was armed.
Of course. Of that you may always be sure. Look, there in his loincloth.
A dagger. At least 6 inches.
Yes. You are truly magnificent, my friend. You are a man.
You are a woman.
Then?
Wonderful woman.
I was wondering when you would kiss me. When you took offenses what the Russian said to me, I knew you would. But I wondered how soon.
Yes, I suppose I knew too, in a way. At least I thought how much I'd like to... But I wouldn't have had the courage before all this, I suppose.
Courage. Your courage is of the lion. Your strength is of the great bull of Swahili.
Thank you. Thank you. I wonder if we're far from the landing stage now. I mustn't miss my boat, you know.
You want to go back to the second class?
Well, naturally. That's what I was trying to do when I knocked on your door. Goodness, I've missed my dinner as it is.
Missed your dinner? Yes, that is so. But haven't you gained something else?
What?
Me. Look. Look at me. Is it nothing, friend, that you have saved me for yourself?
Yeah, but...
You conquer men as though you were bred on the roofs of Mozambique. You fight like a hero. A rush, a blow, a tumble, and you have them lying at your feet. Are you not glad that it was all for this? For me? Oh, kiss me.
I'd fight. I'd fight for you as long as there was anyone to fight.
You would. I know you would.
You lead on.
Where?
Wherever you will.
Come.
Of course, I don't expect you to believe this. Looking back, I'm still unsure it really happened to me. It's as though I dreamed it. Well, I don't know how many routes we crossed after that. A dozen, perhaps. Maybe 20. It was mad, I know, but I must have surrendered completely to the wild spirit of the African coast. I didn't seem to see the great ship lying out in the harbor, her lights blinking with the comforts of civilization. All my senses were focused on this slim, breathtaking figure leading me across the rooftops to a shadowy destination in which only one thing was certain. She would be there. I suppose in that moment, armed only with the bloody bronze idol, I was invincible. At last she led me down a creaking wooden stair that hung precariously on the sheer side of a house. And once more we were in the mud of a gloomy alley. Even the way she slid her arm along mine and softly grasped my hand filled me with greater power than I had ever known. Hand in hand we made our way down the alley and out into a little square where a night breeze rustled in the palms and smelled of the sea. And across the way a dim light showed through a big open door.
The little church of San Sebastian.
Oh,
Onde pensa que você vai?
The police.
after all this?
Não tenta escapar.
O quê? É que você quer comigo?
Eu tenho ordem de prendê-la.
Por quê? Eu não fiz nada.
Veremos. Me acompanhe agora.
Vamos. Vamos, capitão. Devia haver outra maneira de resolver isto.
Esta vez não pega mal. Você está presa.
What's the matter with him? What's he want?
He says he won't let me go.
The devil he won't. What's he want you for?
Oh, my friend. This little policeman, they always arrest me when they get a chance. It is tiresome.
Está bem. Deixe de conversar e me acompanhe.
Listen, copper. Scram, see? Take it on the lam. Take a powder.
Caia-se. Do contrário, será preso também.
I said scram.
Run. Run before I can get to his feet. No, not that way. Into the church. The sanctuary. My magnificent one. You fear no one. You fight for me. So long as there is anyone to fight.
Yes.
There will always be someone to fight. They will never leave us alone.
Will they follow us in here?
These police might do anything. But I know one door they will not dare follow us through.
What is that?
Come. This way. Here. This door. First, I must wrap my skirts close. Now, come cleanly through the middle. Please do not rub the walls as you come. There. We are safe for a while. They will not follow us through that door.
Why not?
It was the door of the lepers.
The door of the...
It's all right. We didn't touch the portals. See? Down the alley are the lights of the waterfront.
Yes. Where do we go now?
We have a little time now to breathe the clean air of the harbor. And then I know a little place where someone is coming. Get back in the shadow until they have passed.
It certainly was something to write home about.
Listen.
What is it?
I wonder what's happened to good old Dawson.
Oh, drenched.
He's found my idol.
The idol. I must return the idol.
No, don't. My friend, this is the greatest danger of all.
Goodbye.
Don't go. Magnificent one. Don't go.
I must. Goodbye. Hello there.
Mr. Dawson.
Got here before you, it appears.
Yes. Did you find the idol?
Yes, but for a moment there, I was afraid I should miss the boat.
Oh, I say, old man, you're a bit disheveled.
Yes, I got caught in the rain.
And my idol. Oh, Mr. Dawson, you got it all dirty.
Yes, it is a bit mussed. I dropped it once or twice, I fear.
Well, I think that was clumsy of you.
Oh, nothing. A little soap and water won't put to rights, I dare say.
Well, maybe. Well, we'd better hurry along. I'd hate to have to spend any more time in this dreadful place.
Oh, so should I.
Yes. There's the whistle. Now, that's the last warning, no doubt. But come on, everybody.
That's coming. Oh, Dawson, don't stand there mooning. We'll miss the boat.
Yes. Yes, in just a moment.
Say, is there someone standing there in the shadow of the alley?
I'm not sure. I thought for a moment...
That's funny. I could have sworn I saw you wave goodbye to someone.
Perhaps I did. Goodbye to Mozambique, to adventure and romance.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. Adventure, romance, in this pest hole?
Twitchell, what would you say if I told you I had just killed a man, fled over the rooftops of the city, made love to a beautiful woman, fought the police, escaped through the leper's gate...
Oh, great heavens, Dawson. I'd say you had the wildest imagination I'd ever heard of. Nothing like that ever happens to a second-class passenger.
No, I suppose you're right. Nothing like that ever happens to a second-class passenger. Except in dreams. Come on, Twitchell. We'll miss the boat.
Escape, produced and directed by William N. Robeson, has tonight brought you The Second-Class Passenger by Percival Gibbon, adapted for radio by Mr. Robeson, with Harry Bartell as Dawson, Jeanette Nolan as the woman, and Kathy Lewis as Miss Patterson. Original music conceived and conducted by Cy Feuer. Next week...
You were isolated on a remote plantation in the crawling Amazon jungle, and an immense army of ravenous ants is closing in on you, swarming in to eat you alive. A deadly black army from which there is no escape.
Next week, we escape with Carl Stevenson's terrifying story, Leiningen versus the Ants. Good night, then, until this same time next week, when again we offer you Escape. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The American Broadcasting Company Radio Network presents Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Buzz and Happy are aboard the Terra 5, rushing toward the planet Saturn. Suddenly, another ship fires at them.
It was close, Commander. He's getting range with those torpedoes.
We'll fire basic action.
Why don't we give this our friend his own medicine? Fire a few blasts with our space cannon.
We can't see. We've got to think about those people in Saturn City. If we destroy Drokov, we destroy the only person who can cure that epidemic.
Take a rocket. We can't fight back. So all Drokov has to do is keep firing until he hits us.
We'll be back in a moment with the exciting story, The Weed of Despair. Better schools build better communities. All schools should have large, airy classrooms, well-equipped, and, even more important, they should have an adequate teaching staff. Many of our schools fail to reach these standards. 3 out of every 5 classrooms in the nation are overcrowded, and there's a shortage of 72,000 elementary teachers. The solution is more action by more people in more places. Join and work with local civic groups and school boards who are actively seeking to improve educational conditions. Find out how citizens in other communities are taking action to improve their schools. For such background information and for guidance, simply write to Better Schools, 2 West 45th Street, New York 36, New York. Help our schools keep pace with the birth rate. Now, back to today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, The Weed of Despair. Commander Corey and Cadet Happy are aboard the Terra 5, bound for the planet Saturn to investigate a strange malady that has afflicted Saturn City. Leading doctors of the United Planets are unable to explain the cause of the sickness, which leaves its victims suffering from strange fatigue and anxiety. Many of the city's leaders have been affected by the spreading epidemic, and Buzz fears that immediate action is needed to prevent a serious disaster.
Commander, the doctors can't do anything about it. What are we supposed to do?
Our job is to keep the people of Saturn City from hurting themselves and others.
Well, I've read in the medical reports, sir, nobody gets violent. It's the opposite, in fact. They just sit around and brood and worry.
Exactly. Every motion seems a tremendous effort for them. They're used to suffering. As the sickness progresses, they become afraid to take any sort of action for fear it might be the wrong thing to do.
Then it's all in their mind.
Possibly. That doesn't make the effect of the sickness any less real.
I still don't see how we can.
Setting up a temporary camp outside the city in a small atmosphere shell. In case Saturn City has to be quarantined, we can rotate skeleton crews in 2 positions and operate the city by remote control.
We could reach Saturn in about 2 hours, and we're just over the orbit of the 6th moon, Titan.
Titan, the 6th moon of Saturn, is the only satellite in the solar system with a natural atmosphere. Prospectors like Mort Stocker and Reese Haviland, with little money for spacesuits or small atmosphere shells, take advantage of this fact in their search for valuable minerals. Their small, powerful surface truck roars over Titan's rough terrain.
Price came from right over that hill, Reed. I think you're rocking. Flashes in the sky. Flashes over the hill. I saw him. Green flash. Yeah. The polka dots. Yeah. No, there wasn't any polka dots. Like I told you, I was looking out the window of our shack when the first flash came out in space. Meteor. And then several minutes later, the next one came. That's when it exploded when it hit the ground. If it exploded, it isn't going to do us any good, even if it was solid uranium. No. Look, you can see it now. That's where it landed, that big scarred place, a quarter of a mile ahead. I see it. It's all black and torn. But it wasn't a meteor. A meteor, we'd have dug a crater. Something's been burned. There's something burned hot. Hey, look out at the man lying on the ground. Run right over him. That's how I was cut to do what's wrong with him. Throw him over now. Can't tell where he's bleeding out. It's been punctured right here in the lane. Wherever it exploded over there, a chunk of it hit the program. Pretty neat. You're right, all right. Yeah, help the load this went into the truck. They're rushing to the shack and buckling him up.
The two prospectors speed back to their shack with the injured man. While they're dressing his wounds, the stranger regains consciousness.
You just lie there in the bunk and take it easy. Where have you packed up for you?
You gentlemen saved my life. I was sure I was finished.
You're going to be all right. I was just...
I'll be okay. Where am I?
A couple of miles from where we picked up.
How did you happen to find me?
I saw the flash the meteor made. It was a meteor, wasn't it?
No, it was my ship, my private cruiser. Something went wrong with the reactor. I managed to set down and get out before it blew up. Fragment must have cut my leg.
You were lucky at that. By the way, my name is Reeve Havlin. My beetle bride friend here is Mort Stocker. We're prospectors, in case you haven't guessed.
I'm very glad to know you, gentlemen. My name is Gelman. I'm from Venus. Yes, I'm a plant apologist.
What kind of a factory you work for?
Thank you. I'm afraid I didn't make myself quite clear. I work with growing plants, flowers, bees.
Well, Mr. Gowan, you won't find many plants on Titan.
I didn't expect that. My landing here was unnatural.
Yes, sir.
You gentlemen probably get around a lot. Maybe you can help me. Would you be good enough to bring me my jacket?
Sure, I can.
I'm searching for a certain type of plant. A reed, to be exact.
Yeah, that you'd know it. Well, I might. There's a jacket, Mr. Bell.
Thank you.
Oh, that's pretty fancy. I always talked to us quite like these before.
It's a semi-official uniform. Here's what I wanted to show you. These pictures. Did you ever see one of these plants?
I think I would do. Let me see them more. You mean you're looking for a mangy-looking weed like this?
I admit it's not very attractive, but it has interesting medical uses. Think carefully. Have you ever seen it? As you can see, it's soft as a grayish jello. Once a year, it grows a big purple ball of tar to its door. Seed, you probably call it.
No, Mr. Gelman, I have never seen anything like this. You're right. And this is what you're looking for, huh? Oh, you're stranded on tight and out of ship, Mr. Gelman. We'd be glad to notify the Saturn Space Patrol.
No. I mean, Bob.
Well, it's no trouble. We got a paper from him in this room.
The fact is, I'd feel rather foolish asking for a rescue ship. You'll probably be going to Saturn for supplies in a day or so. I'll go in with you.
We don't have a ship here on Titan, Mr. Gelman. You see, we're prospecting on the cuff, so to speak. Big company advances supplies and equipment. Every 30 days, we send a ship there to drop off more supplies. Then we'll pick up samples of ore. You want to wait till the ship comes, you're welcome.
And how long will that be?
Well, last ship was here 2 days ago. It'll be 28 days for next year. Don't let the boy. We got plenty of food. You're welcome to stay with us. You know, you just lie down there and take it easy while I rustle up some food for you. There's something pretty strange in the deep stuff tonight. A dark smear on the ground. Down there on Titan.
Yes, I see. And it's perfectly round, a starred area.
But there's something that's burning. What if they were burning?
Exactly, huh?
Titan Station
619 calling Space Patrol. Emergency. Attention, all Space Patrol units.
Manacori aboard Terra 5, the Titan Station T19. Go ahead.
Reese Evelyn, Titan T19. I want to report it. Commander Corey.
That's right, Havlin. I'm 11 DUs off Titan. What's the trouble?
My partner and I prospected in Sector 7R on Titan. Somebody stole our surface truck. We're stranded.
Can you give me more details, Havlin?
Sure. A couple of hours ago, a spaceship exploded just over the hill from our shack. My partner and I picked up this guy and brought him back. Space was searched. We sent him back.
You say a spaceship exploded?
Well, it blew out after it crashed. It left a big black smear and nothing else. Anyhow, we picked out the pilot and put him in our bunk. Take the next. The next thing we knew, he was gone. So was our truck.
How long ago did this happen?
Not more than 20 minutes ago. He couldn't have gone very far. But me and my partner are friends.
Well, take it easy, Havlin. We're covering the whole area by viewscope right now.
We have to get that truck back, Commander. It's our bread and butter.
Stand by that spaceophone. We'll keep in touch. Corey out.
Commander, pick up something on this one.
Maybe the still in front. Put the lower plate tight on. This is the spot we'll land. When closer observation proves the moving object to be a surface truck, Buzz lands the Terra 5 near the blackened area. By now, the surface truck is stopped near some large rocks. Buzz and Happy descend the landing ladder and advance toward the truck. A man in strange clothing turns from a crevice in the rock and stands with arms folded, waiting. We're Space Patrolers. We'd like to ask you a few questions. Sure. Where did you get that surface? We got a couple of parts of it. What's Doctor and these Havlin. I suppose they reported it stolen. Right. Actually, they only borrowed it. I figured I'd get back to the shack before they missed the truck or me. Why are you here? Looking for something? Yes, I am. You see, I have some valuable personal effects aboard my spaceship. I have both for things here about the explosion. So I'll come back to look for it. Yeah? Find what you were looking for? No, I didn't. Explosions are very complete ground. I do know something. But it's places the hull, the active field, and the ground. Yet you escaped. Practically without a scratch. I was fortunate. I managed to get clear of the ship before it blew up. What's that? Kelvin, are you sure that you didn't manage to save a portable spaceophone from the ship before it exploded? It's enclosed, yeah? A very strong code. It's the kind of light you picked up. I had the space receiver. What do you mean? Kelvin, I think you're from another solar system. Another solar system? You think that? The clothes are one thing. And your spaceship is so totally and mysteriously demolished. If I get a look at that receiver, I can tell that it was made here in our solar system. I am from another system. I don't mean you any harm. In fact, I came here to help you, please. We can settle that discussion with a Vanguard. Yes, sir? To show whether you're telling the truth, you can tell it happy when I put that receiver. Yes, sir. Hey, the signal's cut off. One. Whatever you need. Yeah? So just how are you going to stop it? I hate to do this, but it's quite simple. I think you're looking very bad. I'm getting scared. I'm getting scared. Quick. Use your radar. Of course you can. This harmless-looking belt is radiating a field of 100 volts. Commander. We'll return to our exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment. One of the great men of our time is Dr. Albert Schweitzer. For the past 40 years, Dr. Schweitzer has dedicated his life to his medical mission in French Equatorial Africa, devoting all his personal income to the support of 700 patients suffering from leprosy, malaria, sleeping sickness, and other dread diseases of the jungle. Dr. Schweitzer has just reached his 80th birthday. As a tribute, many Americans will send him a gift through CARE, because help for Dr. Schweitzer's hospital is one continuing part of CARE's World Health Program. Your contribution will be gratefully received and carefully spent in the service of humanity. Send it to CARE, New York 16, or to any local CARE office. Specify that it is for Dr. Schweitzer's hospital in Africa. Now back to our exciting Space Patrol adventure, Weed of Despair. Buzz and Happy landed on Titan, Saturn's sixth moon, near a strange, scarred area where a spaceship disintegrated in an explosion. While questioning Gelvin, the pilot who survived the disaster, Buzz found evidence that the ship is from another solar system. Suddenly, Gelvin stunned the Space Patrollers with a brain-numbing field that radiated from his belt. Now, Buzz and Happy find themselves in the control compartment of the Terra 5, with Gelvin standing over them.
Now, if your heads are clear, I want you to listen. Understand?
We've got our weapons. We can't do anything else.
I'm from Taloma, a star system about 80 light years from your solar system. I'm an officer in our Galactic Peace Commission. It's on the order of your Space Patrol.
I can point out a few differences.
Perhaps. I'm here to capture an escaped criminal.
If you're the law, I'd hate to meet the criminal.
I know you're angry. But it was necessary for the welfare of your own people. So to help people, you put us out cold with that radiation field. You're trying to take me to your Space Patrol headquarters, you said. It would take time, and there's none to spare. Not when I have a lead on Dokov. Who is Dokov? The criminal I'm after. After he fled from Taloma, I trailed him to a pro-science system. And then here. I'd intercepted a hyperspace signal from him when my ship developed trouble. I had to land on Titan. I destroyed my own ship so Dokov couldn't spot it.
Well, what does this Dokov do that's so dangerous?
He brings entire planets under his control. How does he work? I want to show you some pictures. Do you ever see a planet like this anywhere in your solar system?
Sorry, how about you, Happy?
Yes, I think so. This weed is probably the most dangerous plant in the universe. It looks harmless, but just a few of them can pollute the atmosphere for miles around.
You mean it's poison?
Not in the ordinary physical sense. Its effect is emotional or psychological. You see this purple sac, the pod?
Mm-hmm.
When that pod bursts, billions of microscopic spores are released into the air. Many of the spores are breathed by human beings with strange sicknesses.
What kind of sickness?
A great lassitude, a fatigue. The victim is overcome with a sense of hopelessness. Nothing seems worthwhile. Then comes a horrible anxiety, a formless, baseless worry, and a sense of despair.
Saturn City. That's exactly what's happening in Saturn City.
What is Dokov's purpose? How can he profit by it? Dokov also has the only cure for this sickness. When your scientists have tried every possible remedy and failed, and the government and its citizens become panicky, and Dokov will offer his cure at an enormous price.
If there is a cure, a positive, definite cure. Yes. Tell us what it is. With your help, our scientists could prepare it and rush it to Saturn City.
It's not as easy as that, Commander. Years ago, the government of Taloma destroyed every weed on the planet where it originated. The remedy is destroyed with the weed.
How?
You see, a species of wasp feeds on a substance secreted by the stalk of the plant. When the weeds are killed, the wasp had no more food and died out.
Well, what's the wasp got to do with the cure?
An extract is made from the honey of the wasp. That substance counteracts the effect of the spores, and only Dokov has this extract. That's right, Commander. And the supply of the plants.
Then you're willing to join forces with us to capture Dokov?
Not only willing, but eager.
Fine. We can use our ship and your knowledge.
But first, there's that truck you
borrowed from our two prospectors. How far away is that ship?
About 1 kur. That would be less than 2 miles from your measuring units.
I'll space one of the prospectors and tell them where the truck is. I'll tell them I've arrested the man.
That's fine, Commander. The sooner we go after Dokov, the better.
Where do we start looking for him?
I only know he's somewhere in this part of your solar system.
We'll head for Saturn City and make a few inquiries. Prepare for blast-off, Pat. I'll contact Mort Stocker. Blasting off from the sixth moon was such a vector for the planet Saturn. Now the Terra 5 is a few hundred BU from the outer perimeter of Saturn's rings.
It's a magnificent sight, Commander. Those rings on Saturn.
Yes, they are beautiful.
And from this angle, the rings look smooth and flat. One might even be tempted to try to land on them.
Well, if you tried it, your ship would be chewed to pieces in a fraction of a second. Those rings are made up of tiny fragments of rock whirling around Saturn at about 10 miles a second.
Commander, look at the rear view scope. There's a ship right on our tail.
We're on a collision course with it. We'd better warn him.
Private cruiser ship. That's all I can tell about it now.
He's firing at us.
What's he lobbing space torpedoes at us for? Doesn't he know this is a space patrol ship?
I think he does, Happy. I'm the one he wants to get.
You? But who would want to... Oh, Dokov.
Yes. Commander, do you mind if I try to contact him?
Go ahead, Gil.
Dokov, this is Gelwin of the Galactic Peace Commission, Taloma Division. Dokov, do you hear me?
Yes, Gelwin. I've been waiting for you.
How did you know I was aboard the commander's ship?
I intercepted Corey's conversation with the prospector. I have been watching Titan since your own ship landed there. I have also overheard your hyperspace message. Come on.
Corey knows that you're responsible for what's happening to the people in Saturn City. When you show up with the remedy, you'll be captured.
That's right, Brokoff. You won't be able to profit by your extortion plot.
I disagree, Commander. You have not seen an entire city in the grip of an epidemic of despair. When the sickness really takes hold, your United Planets government will do anything to obtain the remedy, at any cost.
If that's the case, what will you gain by destroying us?
Gelwin knows too much about me. You two working together could cause me some annoyance. Now, Commander, further conversation is useless. If you'll excuse me, I will resume the pleasant task of exterminating you.
Well, there's no use of getting to his finer sensibility. That's right, Commander.
Oh, that was close, Commander. He's getting his range with this torpedo. Why don't we give him some of his own medicine? If we give him a few glasses with our space
we can't. Now, think about those people in Saturn City. If we destroyed Brokoff, we destroyed the only person who can cure that epidemic.
He's gaining on us, sir. Smoking rockets we can't fight back, so all Brokoff has to do is keep firing until he hits us.
I'm taking back the half. We're heading for Saturn's ring.
But here, Brokoff can still follow us.
He won't follow us where we're going. We're taking the ship right into the ring.
What? Why, those chunks of rock will turn this ship into a sieve.
We'll go in on a tangent. The choice between getting hit with 1,000 fragments or one torpedo.
Commander, you aren't really going to go into that ring.
Yes. We're going to nudge our way in gently. We'll match our velocity to the particles in the outer rim. We'll be riding along with them, sort of rolling with a punch. It might work, Commander. Have to run the repeller ray about 1/10 pound.
Yes, sir.
We're going to grab a ride on Saturn's merry-go-round. When those particles seem to be standing still, we'll pull into the stream.
We're almost at match velocity now, Commander.
The repeller ray ought to keep off any particles that come too close.
Brokoff's still firing at us. Uh-oh. He's changed vector.
Good. It means he won't try to follow us into the ring.
Those particles are all around us now, sir. They look like they're suspended in space outside our viewport. A swarm of bees.
And if we don't disturb those bees, we won't get stung. Now the trick is to work our way deeper into the ring.
Can you do it, sir?
If we increase our velocity gradually, as we move toward the inner part of the ring, it ought to work.
Then you're going to spiral your way in, here through the ring.
No. We'll stay in long enough to convince Brokoff that we're finished and come out through the top.
I bet he's already sure that we're full hold.
Gelwin, better put in the hyperspace receiver. If Brokoff keeps in close touch with his Confederates back in Kelowna, we may learn something about his plan.
Nothing on the receiver so far. I'll try another frequency.
All right, Gelwin. I think we can work our way out of the ring now.
I've got something. There's some code. I can't make it out.
Is it control armor?
I don't know.
Yes, I'm certain of it. Gelwin is dead. Do not have to worry about his meddling anymore.
Okay.
I'm not only rid of Gelwin, but commander of the United Planets Space Patrol as well. The fools dived into a ring of fragments that whirl around the planet Saturn. They must have been ground to pieces in a few seconds.
Good work, Commander, just like you said.
I've got more good news, Ormac. The situation in Saturn City is desperate. Half the population has become so depressed by the effects of the weed spores that they aren't working. Communications, transportation, power, they're all disrupted. The accident rate is way up. I'll wait a few days for real panic to set in. Then I'll appear with my magic remedy. I'll ask 1 million credits first. And if the officials quibble or delay, my price will go up. I've got quantities of the remedies stashed all over the solar system. There's a supply on Saturn moon number 9 in a lunar-type spaceship, all earmarked for Saturn City. The remedy will stay there till they meet my price. I'll keep you informed, Ormac. Don't help out.
A lunar-type ship on the 9th moon. Commander, if we only knew what part of the moon.
9th moon of Saturn. Small, only 200 miles in diameter.
It shouldn't take us long to find the ship, unless it's hidden.
We'll spiral out of this rock swarm and head for the 9th moon.
A few moments later, the Terra 5 emerges from the outer rim of the whirling rings of Saturn, like a silver spark from a spinning grindstone. Buzz sets a vector for Saturn's 9th moon. Then comes the long, patient search of the surface of the tiny Saturn.
Let's make 6 times around, Commander.
It'll take about 12 more to cover the surface completely.
Every inch of that moon's surface looks just like the net.
Commander, look. The right edge of the view stick. That a rock?
No, it's too smooth for a rock.
Increase the sensitivity, Hank.
Yes, sir.
I think it's what we're after.
Lunar-type ship. Into your spacesuits. We're going to land. Buzz sets the Terra 5 down on the surface of the moon. Then, in spacesuits and with ray guns ready, they advance toward the small ship.
There probably isn't anyone aboard, and we can't afford to take chances. We have trouble getting into the ship, Commander. So-called probably locked the hatch. I've thought of that. Tom with Torch will do the trick. You two wait here. I'll go up the ladder first. Get there. Locked, all right. A couple of blasts with the torch will take care of that. All right, come aboard. Get there. We'll try the storage compartment first. Won't take long to search this ship. Start with that captain. Small containers here, but I can't read the labels. They're in my native language, Norma. They're mostly ordinary chemicals. Here. Remedies for weed and despair. Wonderful! But it's just a small bottle. There are thousands of people in Saturn City. This will be enough. Fortunately, the remedies have been diluted millions of times and still be effective. But how can we get it to the people? That's a good question. Nature and the sickness themselves is working against them. The victims haven't any initiative or any desire to get well. They won't cooperate because they can't. They wouldn't show up for treatment. We'd have to find people that aren't sick and train them to administer the treatment. That's no problem. Merely drinking water with the diluted solution in it will effect a cure. Yeah, but remember that old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Only in this case, we can't even lead the people to water, though. There's another way. Kelvin, what if this concentrate were added to the city's water supply? Would it be strong enough to work? I think so. In fact, I'm sure of it. Just that small bottle for thousands of people? Yes, Captain. What we have here will take care of a city up to 500,000 population. Then we're safe. Be sure that we can reach every man, woman, and child in Saturn City, provided they aren't too bored with life to get up and get a drink of water. Don't worry. The advantages of the sector, no matter how listless the victims are, one desire remains. One drive that will stir them to effort. Thirst. We'll save them. All right, then. Blast off and get this remedy to Saturn City. Then we'll go after Strokoff.
A preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment. Boys and girls, there's a wonderful way for you to get the things you want. Say you want a new bike, or camera, or whatever it is. Well, the way to get it is the United States Savings Bond. Now, here's the plan. You put your dimes and quarters, a part of your money, into your school savings plan. You might want to save cash or fill up a savings stamp album, which holds $18.75 worth of stamps. That's enough to buy a $25 savings bond. Just get started on a thrift habit, and first thing you know, you can buy the things you need with your own money. You'll have the fun of watching your dimes and quarters grow into dollars. Dollars all your own. Again, the important thing is to be sure you take advantage of your school savings plan each week. You'll find it's lots of fun and smart, too. Now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol story. Buzz and Happy had become infected with a dangerous, weakening sickness and are frantically searching a laboratory on Venus, hoping to find the one medicine that will cure them. If we don't get some of that solution soon, we'll be of no use to ourselves or anybody.
Leave me, sir. Right now, I'm just going on my own momentum.
Hey, there's a girl, top shelf, a bottle.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, that's the window.
Be careful lifting it down.
Probably all the reason the whole place. If we can only get it to the ship, I'll have our plans. It's Brokoff, and he's got a blast gun. Commander, the glass is smashed in the bottle. The medicine's gone.
Be with us next week for the thrilling Space Patrol story, The Fugitive from Tolorma. Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Helen Moser. Other players were Ken Mayer, Bela Kovac, and Norman Jolly. Dick Weston speaking. Don't forget to tune in next Saturday at the same time for exciting adventure on Space Patrol. This program is broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service.
Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network.